I, amongst everybody, has been waiting for Invincible Season 3 to drop, and it finally did. And with that, they dropped 3 episodes to kick off the season. And they were fucking great. Let's start off with episode 1. Here we have Mark starting to really own up into his role and filling up as the protector of the Earth, in that Cecil has been... Hey! My co-star, Salem, always loves to introduce stuff. Anyways, he's leveling up and he is... he's getting stronger by the minute. His flight is phenomenal. Like, everything about him, his endurance, everything's going up, getting to his dad's level. At the same time, his little brother is inspired by him and trying to follow in his footsteps, and kind of a bit of a nuisance. Mom's trying to get her dating life together. Eve's got some shit going on. There's a lot of moving factors going on here, but essentially what we end up with is a handful of scenarios with super villain, I can't remember, Dr. Earthquake maybe, I forgot, Dr. Seismic. Is plotting and starts kidnapping all these heroes, and we end up the episode with a fight where all the heroes have been captured, with the exception of Mark and Eve. Mark's also going through the dilemma of actually trying to admit his feelings for Eve at that same time, so he keeps getting blocked, almost Peter Parker-ish. And that ends with a bit of an awkward moment because he leaks out that he talked to his future version of Eve, and that Eve thinks that's the only reason he asks her out, and it just becomes a thing. Anyways, so they're whooping the shit out, or actually they're getting their ass whooped by Dr. Seismic and these creatures that are down below the Earth, when all of a sudden Cecil decides to drop all his cyborgs on him, all those reanimated corpses we remember from season 2 that are just fucking badass and just crazy looking, which infuriates. They win. He saves the heroes. They save the heroes and whoop the shit out of them. By the way, Rex in all 3 episodes just steals every fucking scene. The majority of these fight scenes, Rex has been kidnapped from the restroom at the Guardians headquarters, and he's naked, whooping ass naked. Hilarious. They don't show shit, but it's just the fact that he's just running and making lines. It's just, I love Rex. I do. But it's just phenomenal, like it really is. The fight scenes are great. But then he finds out that Cecil has been doing this. He gets pissed off. That episode ends with him confronting Cecil back at the Pentagon. I forget where the hell the headquarters is, but he goes there, they have a confrontation, boom. And then we have epilogue with Omni-Man and can't remember his name off the top of my head now, a little one-eyed orange guy, still trying to figure out how to get off the spaceship, and they're bonding. Omni-Man's becoming more and more emotionally sensitive and open to feelings, so he's starting to humanize, and he's on his way back. We know it, he's on his way back. Episode 2 starts off with flashback to Cecil and who he is and why he is the way he is. Really cool fucked up scene with him going on a mission against these 2 badasses who are about to set off this fucking epic gas bomb, and we learn how he ends up with his scar. Basically we see his fucking whole body melt off, and they graft new skin on him, and the only thing that's left that he decides to keep is that scar on his face, because it's the only thing that's real. It's all that's real on his body. Everything is artificial skin. But it really gives us some insight on to who he was and how he became who he was. He worked up the ladder. He got betrayed by the system. It's a very strong parallel of many of the feelings that Mark's having is what Cecil had back in the day, which I think is really important to both characters. But during that time, we have Mark confronting him in the White Room, and Cecil unloads all these cyborgs on him, with Mark just wails and kills him. And then we find out that he's got a little chip inside of his head that can basically stop him at any moment, and he manages to get to the Guardians' headquarters. There we have a badass fight between the Guardians, who back up Mark against Cecil and his Borgs, and all hell fucking breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. They get the chip out of Mark's head. Half of the Guardians quit and start their own team. The other half stays and gets funded by Cecil. But all in all, it's just shit. That's where we end up with Mark with a new suit, the black and blue badass shit. His little brother becomes Kid Omni. Still working on the name they are. It's an awesome episode. Like, it's so fucking dark and so humanizing also. Mark finally asks out Eve. They clear things out. So we've got a lot of different things, moving parts. The one thing we're really watching, though, is his little brother. His little brother is just off he's just off. Episode 3 starts off in a way that I couldn't possibly have imagined starting. It is such a beautiful beginning. The music is just so dramatizing, beautiful as we get the story of these two villains um, that are robbing a bank, but they're not just a cold-blooded villain. They're humanizing villains. Villains. They get stopped by the Guardians, escape, and it's all in silence. It's just this whole first 5 minutes or so is just in silence as we're seeing the story unfold of this couple, these two uh, gay men. One has lava powers. The other one has a suit with the ribbons. We've seen them before in season one, but it's beautiful. They're doing something out of necessity, not out of want. And then they decide to flip their lives. They try to go it the straight and narrow way, working, and it's all paralleled along to this vibrant flower that's flourishing with them as they're flourishing. And of course, it takes a turn, and the flower starts dying as their life starts taking a nosedive, and they get pushed to the point where they need to go back to committing crimes and rob a bank. And then we catch up to current times with Mark and his little brother stopping him. Um, and we start seeing his little brother get unhinged, damn near killing one of them. They gets into prison, but it's just again, it's sort of in one of the most beautiful ways I've ever seen on a show. But from there, we then go to Mark and Oliver trying to figure their stuff out. Oliver promises he's going to, follow Mark's ways. He doesn't. He's still becoming more and more unhinged. They get to a point where the Mahler brothers, who I fucking love, and I love the fact that anytime they're on screen, their going soundtrack is always Run to the Jewels, which is one of my favorite fucking bands. And I give props to you guys for doing that shit. I fucking love it. The Mahler brothers in themselves, or the Mahlers, not brothers, but Mahlers because they're all fucking clones. Um, all themselves are just completely entertaining. I love it anytime they're on screen. But here they're trying to launch a nuke. Um, and Invincible and his brother are the only ones that can stop it. Um, but that turns into a shit show because Mark goes to stop the nuke, stops it, but his brother just fucking lets loose, kills one of the Maulers. The other Mauler gives up. Now, let me rewind also the fact that the Maulers had just whooped the hell out of the Guardians, not the spinoff because they don't have a name yet. They're still figuring out their base and all that. But he whoops the shit out of the remaining Guardian. They whoop the shit out of the remaining Guardians. So he quits, and Oliver in cold blood just kills the second one, which sucks because we have no more Brawler brothers. I'm sure there'll be some kind of catch with one of them in embryo or something as a failsafe. I don't see him not doing that, but that show was wicked dark. Like shit was just fucking. He is little Omni Man. Mark realizes that and has no idea what to do. Um, but not only that, Cecil is aware of what's going on, and all eyes are on them. What's going to happen with this kid? Um, they can't control him. I mean, the mom, Mark, no one control him. He's just becoming more and more unhinged like his father. His genetics are definitely taking over. Um, but three great, strong episodes. These first three episodes definitely already kicked the pace and have launched it beyond season two, in my opinion. I think they're already better than season two. I'm digging it. I'm digging everything about it. I'm really intrigued to see where the story goes. It's going to be a fucking terrible turnout with the little butter. I know it, but I'm ready for this story to unfold because we got a lot of things going on. Yeah, man, it's been fucking dope. Let me know what you thought about the first three down below. And of course, appreciate you.